right, today what I want to dive deeper into is meditation. Towards the end of this talk, we'll do a meditation together, which will be valuable. But I think it's important too. There's a lot of kind of mysticism and kind of woo-woo like feelings and ideas around meditation. I think it's going away, quite honestly, because what's happened over the years is that these meditators have allowed themselves to be studied by scientists, and like EEGs and EKGs set up so that like these scientists and these researchers can actually monitor what's going on physiologically when people are meditating, and they can see the different areas of the brain that light up and what those areas are associated with. And so like there's this crazy raft of research that is now like backing up like through the scientific method of like the real benefits of meditation. And so and my point behind that is like I think it's really cool that meditation is like coming into the mainstream, and part of our intention is to teach that and to be on that wave of like, hey everyone, like we got to be meditating, like especially like in today's times, like man, we've got to be meditating, because it is one of the core pillars of the framework that we put together. Like this, it's what we call the Awaken Life formula, which is movement, meditation, manifestation. These three things that really, when you look at yoga, if you go back far enough and what it's really about, this is what it's really designed to do. Now, most places focus very narrowly on like the movement aspect of it. But even then, like even if you take yoga back far enough to where movement was starting to be introduced in like the yoga world, it was purely as a supplement to meditation. And so it's interesting now we have this like, we have to like, you know, articulate in a more specific way, what are we talking about? Are we talking about yoga or are we talking about meditation? As if the two are separate, because they've been separated because of the nature of what people believe yoga to be, which is totally fine. Like we're riding that wave, surfing that wave too, which is, yeah, get on your mat, move your body because it's so beneficial. And so the movement piece though is really twofold. One, it's to keep our bodies feeling young and youthful and like as vibrant with energy as possible. And that's like the physical practice of the like doing the work on the mat. But we also use it in the method that we use, the formula that we use, as a precursor to meditation. So and the reason it developed that way is because, like, man, meditation is challenging. If you've sat in meditation for any length of time, right, even just 5 minutes, you know, like, it is not an easy feat. This isn't, like, one of the misconceptions that, like, oh, I'm going to meditate to get relaxed. No. Like, it's not relaxing. It's peace-inducing, meaning you're austere. You are in a steady position. You are like, it takes strength. It takes willpower. It's not like I'm going to like soften and relax. No. That's Shavasana. This is meditation. Meditation is a very challenging practice, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And so the practice of movement helps to facilitate a body that can stand the test of longer meditations. And that's really where the fruit starts getting more abundant when you start increasing your meditations for longer periods of time. One of the things we say, though, is in the beginning, if you're like newer to meditate, here's the key. Consistency is more important than intensity, meaning doing more with less amount of time, doing like every single day for 1 minute is better than doing like one 30-minute sit once a month. Consistency is more important than intensity, but that's all a tangent from what I really want to talk about. And so what the point of meditation in and of itself is to be able to focus the mind to one point and hold it there, period. So when you think about meditation, if you like really distill it to what it is, what we're actually really doing is we're concentrating. And we're kind of like flip-flopping between I'm concentrating and I'm distracted. I'm concentrating and I'm distracted. I'm concentrating and I'm distracted. But every time that happens, that flip-flop where I'm supposed to be concentrating on my breath, my anchor, and then my mind wanders, I'm distracted, and then I choose to come back, boom, that's success. That's a repetition, and that's what we do. But why is it so important? Why is focusing the mind so important? And it's because of the way the brain works. We are all patterned. We are patterned to see life in a very specific way, and that pattern of consciousness, if you want to get kind of like in the ethereal yoga realm, the pattern of consciousness, which really it's just like psychology, meaning the patterns of thought that flow through the mind are born from prior experiences. And this is why present moment awareness is like the theme in all of yoga, and why meditation is so important, because it helps us to focus the mind, to stay present, because what happens right here and right now, and the way we perceive this experience, is a function of all of the experiences we've had. All of the pre-wired experiences that have formed the way we think about life, that formed what we believe to be true about ourselves and our potential, and about why the world is the way it is, and the meanings that we place on the events of life, and all the stories that support those meanings. All of that, born from the past, is influencing, boom, right now. Even how you're perceiving me talking and the things that I'm saying is like you are filtering it through all of these prior experiences of what you think about yoga and what meditation, all the experiences you've had of yoga and meditation, and all the people who have ever taught you about that, all of that informing, boom, right now, how you're perceiving this. And here's the value, is right now, how you're perceiving this and how you're choosing to relate to what I'm saying, and this is like every single day, all day long, with whatever's going on in your life, that is going to influence how you perceive a future moment that is somewhat similar to this experience right here. So why present moment awareness? Why meditation? Why is it so important? Is because it gives us focus, which allows us to control consciously the way we're interpreting life's events, and the way we interpret this moment in life's events, which is, if we're not focused, if we're not concentrating, if we're not present, is just a repetition of prior moments in the past, experiencing it right now, that will influence a future moment. So literally, your whole life is right now. Every moment you've had prior to now, boom, right here, informing how you interpret this. Right now, how you interpret this is going to inform the rest of your life. And so literally, it's like you have a destination, and all of a sudden, you make a choice to like just change 1 degree to the left. And you change that 1 degree from right now. You make that one small decision to make a change in your life right now. And when you breathe long enough and live long enough and travel far enough, that 1 degree will literally put you on an opposite side of this planet. 1 degree. That's the value. And like you look at that, you're like, wait, oh my God, every decision I make may change the course of my life. Yeah, totally. And we have to be lighthearted with it, right? We have to, but the point is, are we making decisions consciously or unconsciously? That's the value of meditation, is because it allows us to be more present with our natural reactions to life, and then we get to say, no, boom, no. That was how I behaved in the past. That is not how I'll react right now. How would I, if I could choose, how would I want to respond to life right now? If you're emotional, if you're angry, part of it is like, be emotional, be angry if you want. But the question then becomes, to be able to rein in that control, is to say, if I had the choice of being angry, would I choose to be angry? If I had the choice to be frustrated and to be pissed off, would I actually choose to be frustrated and pissed off? And if the answer is no, then in that answer, you realize that, oh, something has taken over me that I'm not in control of. And so this is the power of meditation. It's not saying that you're going to meditate long enough and all of a sudden you won't feel feelings and you won't be emotional, but you'll just have more control over what you choose to feel and and how you choose to interpret life's events. Because like 90% of the suffering that we have, like, isn't like the big events of life. It isn't like the total loss of life, or what we're experiencing right now, this big pandemic, right? This is an anomaly of life. Most of our suffering is in the little day-to-day moments. Someone says something a little terse to you, and you get all like ruffled about it, and it pisses you off and like ruins your whole day. Like you wake up in the morning and like you spill your coffee, and all of a sudden you say, oh, that's going to ruin my day. And all of a sudden you allow yourself, your entire day to be ruined by one little event. Like that's the stuff that's like the reality of where most of our like suffering comes from every day. Most of our like subtle agitations and subtle things that just kind of like rub us wrong. Most of that stuff actually we can work out pretty quickly through like the true practice of yoga, which is you gotta incorporate meditation. You don't have to, but if you want more control in your life and you want to live a happier, healthier, more fulfilling, abundant life, you should probably meditate. So that's what we're going to do. That's like the pitch to meditation is, one, that's what yoga originally was, but more importantly, what I really wanted to kind of distill is how important present moment awareness is. Not in this kind of like esoteric, like be present for your life and for the unfolding of life as it is. Like, no, because actually right now, if you're not present, some other part of you born from the past is actually in control and governing where you're going in your life. And if it's not you, it's some other aspect of like some prior you, and you didn't choose it, then where do you think it's going to lead you? You know? So like this is like, how do we then, this is why meditate. Movement supports the meditation practice. Meditate so we can gain control of the focus of our mind, so we can consciously choose how we want to show up for our lives. And the reason that's so important is because these choices we're making now brings us to this manifestation aspect. The manifest is now, how do I want my life to look? What choices am I making now that's going to direct where I end up in my life? And this is the real power of yoga. This is actually what yoga is really designed to teach us is, you move to meditate more effectively, you meditate to gain control over the mind, and then you manifest. There's a process that we use to like 7-step process that will take you into like, okay, what do I want? And how do I get there? And boom, boom, boom. So we're going to keep talking about all that stuff, and we're super excited because we have a training coming up. What? That's coming up, I don't know when, but we're putting it together right now. So anyway, let's meditate together. When I say meditate, what I'm really saying is let's concentrate and get distracted together. So we'll just do it for a few minutes. Close the eyes and stack the spine. And then it's about engaging, right? So we're strong. Again, this is austere. You're pulling the low belly in, the ribs back, setting the shoulder blades onto the back, and letting the elbows fall directly underneath the shoulders. And then close your eyes and focus your eye gaze to one point. Like traditionally, it's slightly up towards the forehead center, this what people call the third eye. Right, there's a gland there that is like associated with the third eye. That science has now shown there's a chemical that's inside of that gland that's secreted and produced and secreted. And they call it the God hormone, or like if you have a transcendent moment, a moment kind of like of total presence, that hormone is being secreted. So that's one of the reasons, that efficacy of shifting your gaze up. But if that's uncomfortable right now, you can just shift it off the tip of the nose. The idea now physically in this austere experience is to be as still as possible, no fidgeting. Move the body as little as possible. Keep the eye gaze focused as much as possible. And then the process of interiorizing, of pulling your attention inside of you. So that beyond my voice, I keep my voice as part of it, but with the eyes closed, it's taking all of the other senses, like they're telephones, and you're just hanging up the sense of sight by closing your eyes, the sense of touch by being still. And what we're left with is the movement of the mind. And we'll just do a very simple breathing pattern to help focus the mind to one point. This is an anchor, and there's millions of anchors, but right now we'll just use a triangle breathing. We've done it before. Exhale the breath. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4. Exhale 4. Hold 4. Inhale. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Exhale. Hold. Continue on your own. If you find yourself lost in thought, telling yourself stories, acknowledge it, smile to it, and lightly return to the breath. And please remember that is a victory. Catching the mind and returning to the breath is success. As we come closer to the end of this meditation, see if you can let go of that triangle breathing pattern. Let the breath take a more natural pace. And see if you can maintain that same steadiness of focus, even if it's just for brief moments. Let's take a collective inhale and a collective exhale. Bring the palms together, prayer position. Thank you for joining. Namaste.